What's up, boys and girls? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Uh, I'm on my way to an event because it's Freedom Friday, baby. But I had to finish this show. I got to do it because I saw a thing that's going viral today, and everybody's like, the win, Future's winning because his baby mama, instead of getting $53,000 a month, is going to get 3 grand. Yay! Y'all, this ain't a win. This ain't a win for the kid. This ain't a win for her. This ain't a win for nobody. This is a sad, sad situation. This man got 8 kids, and these girls are playing the wrong game. Now, what do I mean the wrong game? They're playing an old game that don't even work no more. And the sad part is we're in a society where people have the access of the internet. They got all this technology at their fingers, but yet they playing old games that don't work no more. Now, my friend said he works at the unemployment office, in which state I cannot say. Then y'all might be looking for him. And but it's in the South. It's not North Carolina, and it ain't South Carolina. And he said there's people coming in there, and he says I can look over the course of their life and talk to them, and they played this game over and over again with unemployment, disability, and he said you'll talk to them, and they'll be some of the smartest people you ever talked to, but it's like they never got out of the cycle of playing the wrong game. And that's running down there when something goes wrong, never having emergency savings, just never getting ahead. Now, maybe people say, well, Erica, it's income, it's financial. No, a lot of this is information. It's just information. They run around knowing every bit of information it takes to go get unemployment. Same thing right now. There's an article saying that over in Louisiana, now we can't verify this, so I didn't do a show on it, but it's saying over 12,000 people. I think it's saying something like 12,000 people in Louisiana are going to be brought up on charges of unemployment fraud and SBA loan fraud. Now, again, I couldn't verify this with news, so I can't say exactly if this is spot on. But I will say, if you're running around trying to play the SBA game, you playing with the government and you playing with Fed time. And then you playing in a state that just don't play with nobody. Louisiana love locking people up. It's the worst state to play that game in. And part of why I wanted to bring up the future baby mama thing is this girl is beautiful. Let me be very clear. She is absolutely beautiful. And she would have made a very nice man's wife. A man with some money, a man who owns a business, a man who's a contractor, a builder, a developer, some kind of man with a higher income. She could have got there and there'd been no problem. But see, she's playing an old game that don't have a long shelf life. And now she got a baby. And now this $3,000 check, what does she really do it for? Attention, the limelight, being in that circle of famous people. And she's really not going to get anything out of it other than maybe a few interviews about how she feels. Some lawyer trying to convince her that they're going to go back and get more money. But ultimately, she's made the wrong choice for the next 18 years. Now people will say, well, Erica, what about Sierra? Sierra had a baby by Future, but Sierra was already famous. And I don't mean Instagram thought famous. I mean famous enough that she could laterally move away to someone with some long-term money, aka Russell Wilson. These young ladies that are reaching up through these rapper ranks, there's no lateral move for them. Now, let me be careful on that, because there is Blake Griffin, the basketball player. His baby mama, white girl now, was the baby mama of a football player, quarterback. And now she's his baby mama with multiple kids. And then he left her for somebody else. And so now she's got 4 kids by 2 sports dads. And TMZ one time said something to the white guy who had the first baby by her, and he was like, "Hey, be respectful. Be respectful." There are people in circles that are moving laterally, and that can sometimes be okay, sometimes not. But this short-lived shelf life of this Thotterina, that's the best way I can explain it. Thotterina, getting near these guys, thinking you're going to get some kind of future out of it, is sad. And it's the wrong game. It's the attention game, but it's funneled in the wrong way. Now, prime example, some people were saying, well, they were bringing up other YouTubers that I know. And I said, but here's the difference. They have whole businesses. Someone even said this in the comments, like, well, some of these YouTubers, all they're trying to do is get money out of your pocket, and while they sit at home and you slave at work. And it's like, first of all, you sound salty about your employment. You should be grateful that you have employment. You shouldn't be a salty mouth employee. You should just get in your lane and be happy. There are employees that make more than a lot of these YouTubers. Okay? But then you got to look at some of these other YouTubers. They actually have a real business, aka Max Maxwell, aka Matt, the mortgage guy, aka a lot of these people who are actually building real estate companies, real estate businesses, flipping homes, wholesaling. Like, it takes a lot to be a millionaire. It takes a lot of streams to get there. Even if you're Max Maxwell and you're doing, again, I think he interviewed a guy that did like 1,000 deals. The guy who did 1,000 deals barely got to the mill. There was a kid here, Devin McLeish. If you go look back up, I talked about him, Bigger Pockets, where he did 82 deals or something like that in 1 year. He still had to parlay those 82 deals into a whole construction company that him and his mom own. And then they got to the real money. A lot of people believe what they see on social media is money, but a lot of it's attention. And yes, attention can get you money, but ultimately you're looking for the long-term play, the right information to click it in here. And honestly, again, I was talking to someone and we were going back and forth, and it was a consulting call, and I realized they didn't really want a YouTube business. They wanted to be a talking head on the internet and just magically get paid. And I said, well, but sir, you got to do A, B, and C, D, E, F, G to get the money to come in. You're not on ESPN. This isn't Sports Center. You're not Flemo Wraps, which you're not even paying attention to the fact that Flemo Wraps has multiple sponsors, multiple things putting money in his pocket. And what happens is people just have the wrong information about what they think attention will do for them. And this is the danger in it. This is the danger in, oh, look at this. There's a Porsche beside me in traffic. This is the danger in people on the Instagramming it up. Instagram is, you're seeing photos, but you're not seeing the whole picture. And this is why I've been anti-Instagram for a while now. I've been more YouTube, because at least you get a backstory. At least you get a little more dialogue. At least you get to have some conversation with somebody and figure out what's going on. How did you get there? How is this possible? Oh, my Lord, y'all. If y'all can see out here, there is a fire on a car. Lord Jesus. I hope they okay. Oh, get them out of there. Lord. That's terrible. Ooh, they okay. They don't spray the fire extinguisher on it. All right, so back to the show. Back to what I was saying. They have attention, and they think attention equals currency, and it doesn't. Now, prime example, Joe Budden. I've been talking and posting clicks on the left-hand side of the comment section about Joe Budden. The reason I've been posting is I want you to understand him and Charlemagne the God are not the same. Yes, they both have lots of attention, and for 10 years straight, Charlemagne has had opportunities to be on TV, write books, go on stages, but guess what? As soon as the tide turned a little bit, they snatched him off all those stages. They snatched him out of a lot of events from something that happened 22 years ago. And this is part of why people are angry about the Me Too movement, because they think some of these ladies are seeking attention. And yes, some of them are. You can go to therapy, work that stuff out, and never get in front of a camera and like, that man 30 years ago did this. Honey, that's not even a part of the therapy. A lot of times when people forget what therapy is, half the time, you just dealing with yourself. You working through it yourself and how you react to the next thing. So part of that whole conversation back and forth is like, Joe Budden, you is saying, look, Charlemagne, you're an employee, a saucy mouth employee, but still an employee. You don't own your name. You don't own your stuff, right? And again, he hurried up and he threw himself on top of YouTube, because again, I keep trying to tell y'all, YouTube is where it's at. Threw himself up on YouTube so that he could do what? Get his own, right? Joe Rogan and all these people have been doing this for 7, 8, 9, 10 years, 11 years. thousands of videos. I've got 1,000 videos. And what ends up happening is you're talking to people who are like, yeah, I want to skip all the hard years. I want to skip all the hard work. And I want to get to year 12 where you are. Because year 12 is where I want to be. And you got to look them dead in the face and go, but baby, how you going to get there? You going to use paid advertising? You going to pull a Ty Lopez? Because Ty Lopez already had money from real businesses. And he spent that money to get that quick attention. See, people don't want to talk about that part though, right? They don't want to talk about that part. And that's part of why I think, you know, this whole internet attention Instagram thing is bad for a lot of these women, because in real life, a lot of them would have went ahead and married somebody and sat down. Right. And it's also bad for men in the fact that they think that they should deserve equivalent to what a movie star, a famous man, a wealthy man gets. He spent 10, 15 years working his butt off to get that. That's the part of the story you're not paying attention to, baby. That these people there's a whole workflow behind the scenes that you're not seeing. And people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear it. Now, look, there's about 160 something people. I'm not looking at her exactly. I'm looking at the road. Go ahead and hit that like button. Do your girl a favor. The likes are free. Likes are free, baby. Get them in there now. So, look, part of why I do what I do is so that you can never say you didn't see any brown people being successful. You can't never say you didn't learn any real estate stuff. Even in the rise of 20%, I got wholesalers coming in next week. I got all kind of people coming in there and having conversation because it's possible. I went in my bigger pockets, or my VA did. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. My VA went in there and he was like, you got 342 messages. What do you want me to do? And I'm like, I mean, I can answer some of them, but I'd rather you do it. And again, he's from the Philippines, so sometimes get lost in translation. So I just hopped in there and I started responding to people. And all I had said was, hey, baby, I'm in Austin, Texas. I do this and this and that in real estate, and I have properties in Detroit, yada, yada, yada. By the end of 3 hours, we had a list of, I think, 535 people we could do future projects with in some fashion, shape, or form. Now, people are going to say, well, what, Erica? Again, it took talking to them. Better yield, baby. Don't do it. It took talking to them. It took reaching back out to them, responding to them. It took a little bit of work. It took, let's be honest, it took 3 hours. Something I thought my VA could do, and he couldn't do. You know, he just can't do it. And so what ends up happening is people think they're going to fall into deals. They're going to fall into money. It's possible. You know, if you watch enough Hallmark movies, you think you're going to move to a small town and marry a millionaire that's an undercover millionaire that you didn't know because he wears overalls or something. And that just ain't happening, boys and girls. That just ain't happening. And you're not going to find some Victoria's Secret model who just wants a simple life and to live in your 500 square foot apartment. That ain't happening either. Okay. So let's let that go. Let's let that go. Because I was watching with that work we were doing today, I was watching some YouTubes that, you know, some people are supposed to do some partnerships in the future and meet them out on the road. It's a whole nother story. And I was like, man, that's so awesome. You know, you guys really doing this van life. You know, I'd love to meet y'all when we go by Colorado because I think that'd be cool. YouTubers talking to other YouTubers. And they're like, oh, well, we ain't even in the van no more. We over here. But we booked it to your channel because we're renting our van out. And I'm laughing because I'm like, when I do this collabo, I can't wait to be like, see, I told y'all people ain't in these vans. They get enough money and they move into a house. That's just the nature of people. That's just the nature of people. All right. So part of this whole reason I went to do this show today is I went into the store, UPS store, and I had to print out an additional 1,400 pages, right? I was at one place and I print out 1,000 papers, no problem. I go in this place and the girl's like, it's 30 cents a copy. I'm like, wait a minute, back that up. What'd you just say? Oh, it's like 30 cents a copy. I said, why? UPS store nationally is usually 10%, 10 cents a copy, 9 cents a copy. So I stopped her. I said, okay, well, honey, you know, I'll just go take it back over here to near Georgetown, and they charge 9 cents a copy. I'll just do that. Well, I don't know why it's such a problem, ma'am. I told you it was 30 cents where I started copying. I'm like, first of all, who are you talking to? Second of all, I said, that's enough. Don't print another paper, right? Get that through. We talked that through. And the owner comes by. And of course, I'm just saying the owner is Indian. And I'm like, oh, figured it. Just for the area. No worries, no problems. Here, let me pay and roll out. And the owner had to come by and just put her hand on her shoulder, like, just, all right, girl, you look a little bit saucy there. Shh, hush, hush, a little bit of saucy. And I have this rule of thumb that I cannot stand saucy employees. Now, I get it. We're in a climate of COVID, people tired, people frustrated, people coming in there telling them what to do, arguing with them. They mad, they tired. I feel you on all that. If anybody feels you, when I was working crap jobs, I feel you. And I was ready to be gone, okay? And what ends up happening is you feel like you can be saucy mouth. And here's what I can tell you. When I was a kid growing up, you don't be saucy to adults. Also, you don't be saucy to the people who pay the bills. Pay the bills is the clients. It is the people who come in. Now, I don't mean you tell people whatever they want to hear, but you at least adhere some level of decency and respect. This goes into a bigger conversation, as you know I was making it do. We live in a society where everyone thinks they are equal. Just wait, just hold, hear me out. Don't boo me, don't thumb down the video, just hold on. And when I talk about equal, we're all equal in the eyes of the Lord, for sure. You're breathing air, I'm breathing air, for sure, we are all equal, for sure. No problem. But when it comes to stations in life, we are not. Some folks just haven't earned it. And that doesn't mean you can go into places and act a monkey fool. That doesn't mean a cop can treat you bad. That doesn't mean, situations allow people to expose themselves. But it just means that some people ain't earned it. And we live in a society of these, unfortunately, after my generation, I'm blaming it all on the 90s kids. I'm blaming it on mid-90s, 93, 94. Y'all born, y'all just ruin it all, right? You come and we have a lot of people with the participation trophy mentality. I go to work for 40 hours. I should be able to live in a 2,000 square foot house and have a brand new car. What are you talking about, Erica? Damn, be the math, okay? Well, I've had this baby out of wedlock. So what? Who are you to judge me? I should still get a man, a nice car, and a nice house. Why is this not working? I just started my YouTube channel yesterday, and I don't have 5,000 views. I don't understand. Why is this not working? This must not work. It must be your course. And you sitting there looking them dead in the eye like, now, I know I ain't crazy, but maybe you are. And the problem lies in that no one ever told you that life isn't fair. Y'all ever heard that saying? Put a one in the comments if you've ever heard that. Life isn't fair. Right? And another one, life is what you make it. Right? Life isn't fair. And two, life is what you make it. Now, this poor girl who's decided to have this baby, my future, and was hoping for a payday of a lifetime, is sadly awakened to the fact that this will not be the case for her. It just will not be the case for her. Life is what she makes it at this point. This place is amazing, you guys. I wish you could see it, but I got the invitation and you did. Life is not fair. Life is what you make it. And for too long, we've allowed people to think that just because they breathe the same air and they're sitting beside you on the airport, that you are the same. And this young lady, unfortunately, is learning a harsh lesson. That attention is not real currency. Her literally just being pretty is not going to win the day. And unfortunately, this kid is going to be another kid who doesn't have their father. And again, prime example, if you don't believe me on this, look at Lauryn Hill's kids up here in the news acting a fool, even though majority of their life was spent with two parents. Not Lauryn Hill and her husband, but Lauryn Hill's mother and her father. They had a full life with two parents, but yet they walk around with the entitlement of a child that should have had more. And this is what this child that she has with Future will have. An entitlement that I could have had a better life, that I could have had a better father, that things should have been better for me. And it's sad. It's absolutely sad. So that's all I got for y'all. I gotta go inside this place here, but thank y'all. I'm gonna take some photos and video and put it in the community tab and let y'all see what you see in here. So it's your girl Erica, Classic Clown Blog. Later.